Hey, third graders, here we are for reading. Um, we are going to be talking about visualizing. So, picturing things in our brain as we're reading. And really, that's a way for us to connect to our text and be able to kind of insert ourselves in the book and feel like we're a member or a character within our book. Okay? So, visualizing. When I visualize, I can make a mental picture in my head. This helps me to connect with my story on a deeper level. So, as readers of fiction texts, it's important that we connect with our character. Okay? We need to somehow insert ourselves in the book and feel like we are a part of the book. Okay? So, as you are working today, your activity is going to be to create a mental image when you're reading. So, I'm going to read you a story. This is more of a character ed book, but I thought, you know what? It's kind of a nice, fun book. It's called Testing Miss Malarkey. And we're going to do the activity together. And then when we're done, I'm going to release you and you're going to do your activity on your own. So let's read this together. Testing Mrs. Malarkey. I don't think I've ever read this to us. Miss Malarkey is a good teacher. Usually she's really nice, but a couple weeks ago she started acting a little weird. She started talking about the test, the instructional performance through understanding test. I think Miss Malarkey said it was called the IPTU test. Not another test. No wonder they pity us. Do you feel like that sometimes in third grade? But Miss Malarkey said the test wasn't that important. She said it wouldn't affect our report cards. It wouldn't mean extra homework. And if we didn't do it well, we'd still go on to the next grade. Miss Malarkey, you shouldn't bite your nails. Do you think she was nervous? At recess, we played multiplication mambo. Each class got a new CD-ROM called There's Something About Decimals. After lunch, we played funny phonics. Miss Malarkey said you never know what's going to be on the test. I before E except after C. You get to move 2 spaces. Isn't phonics fun? Fish is food. Fish is good brain food. Some of you should eat a whale. That's a joke. The cafeteria lady, Mrs. Slopdown, took away the potato chips and served only fish. In art, we each made posters about the test. Mrs. Magenta also showed us how to color in all those little circles they put on tests. During gym, we didn't play baseball or even exercise. Mr. Fitenough said we had to prepare our minds and bodies for the test. We all learned something about meditating and about something called yogurt. Like I said, things were getting pretty weird at school. I got to thinking the test was some sort of important thing. So I'm thinking as I'm reading, that the kids are really confused because everybody keeps telling them that it's not important, but it seems like it really is. Even my mom knew about the test. When she read me the bedtime story, I had to complete a ditto and give the main idea before I could go to sleep. Mom started making me eat a really big breakfast. For lunch, she packed me a Power Bar 2000. When I got to school, I traded Adam for a fat-free bran muffin. He traded with Hannah for a baggie of carrot sticks. Hannah didn't want the Power Bar, so she asked for her best friend, Meredith, if she would trade her for an apple. Somehow, someone must have wanted the apple, and I'm not sure what happened, but I had the Power Bar 2000 again. One night, Mom took me to a PTA meeting. A man was there talking about the test. He wasn't a teacher or parent or even a principal, but whoever he was, he seemed to think the test was very important. So did the parents. The day of the test, the janitor, Mr. Shirley, closed off the whole hallway. You couldn't even walk down it unless you had a pass. And you had to whisper. Miss Malarkey had to whisper the secret password to Mr. Shirley before she could go to room 10. That morning, there were more teachers than kids waiting for the nurse. Miss Malarkey's job was to hand out the number 2 pencils and the scratch paper. She looked like she didn't get enough sleep. Principal Wiggins was keeping the time. We couldn't even touch the test until he waved the flag. When it was time to start, he waved the flag so hard something happened to his hair. Ah, he lost his hair. Hope that never happens to me. The test took forever. It took 2 whole days. My friend, Charmaine, got in trouble for not using his scratch paper the right way. I thought his Ninja Warrior looked pretty good, though. Miss Malarkey caught Barry with his baseball cards. Morgan got a stomach ache and had to go to the nurse. The hall monitor gave her such a hard time she threw up right in the hall. When Miss Malarkey said to erase all your pencil marks, Janet erased her whole test. Principal Wiggins was in the room for a while, but he had a stomach ache and had to go to the nurse. I hope he didn't throw up in the hall, too. After the test, everybody got prizes and had treats, and we got extra recess. Even Stephen, who fell asleep 2 times during the test. Miss Malarkey looked wiped out, and she didn't even take the test. It's been a long time since we took the test. Things are back to normal. Principal Wiggins isn't yelling quite as much. The cafeteria lady started serving potato chips again. Mom's packing me good old peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And Mrs. Malarkey is letting her fingernails grow real long. I guess the test really wasn't that important after all. They're the champions. So I thought this book was cute. It reminds me a lot of just like how we will take the NCA and how we all get a little jittery. But really, I mean, yeah, the test is important, but it's more about just showing what you know and not getting stressed out about it. So when you do your activity, creating images. So when I read, I'm going to write the title of the book, Testing Malarkey. Testing Miss Malarkey. In this circle, you get to be creative. You get to draw a picture. So I know, I'm going to do it kind of fast, but I know a mental image that I had was poor Miss Malarkey chewing her fingernails. And how sad she looked. That was a mental image for me. It just was so powerful because I know I do that. And sometimes I do that and I don't mean to do it. But it really resonated with me because I could tell how nervous that teacher was. So after you draw your beautiful picture, at the bottom, you're going to tell me what your picture is. So I visualized Miss Malarkey biting her nails. I could tell she was nervous. I could tell she was nervous. Okay. So this activity will be the exact same activity you do, but if you remember yesterday in class, I said that I assigned you a book on Epic. So what I want you to do is when I'm done with it, when you're done listening to this video, you're going to log into Epic, you're going to go into your mailbox, and you're going to click the book that I sent you. Okay? I think it's called Animals Don't, So Why Do I? You're going to read that, and then after that, you're going to come back to Seesaw and do your Seesaw activity. Again, it's just visualizing, and then you're telling me what your picture was. Okay? Again, if you have any questions, please join that Google Meet, and I will help you. Okay. If you have any other questions, refer back to your green folder that has that cheat sheet, but please join the Google Meet if you have any questions. Okay. Have a great break if I don't see you.